and vice versa.
That's got to be a good feeling for you, Hannah, knowing that you're going to get the ball so easily since they're concentrating on the three-pointers.
Yeah, I mean,
easy to operate in there, isn't it?
yeah, when your team is shooting such a high percentage on the three-point, I mean, they have to defend them, and it leaves me to go one-on-one a lot, which is nice.
You guys have preached about the defense all year. How do you think you guys played defensively today?
I think we had a good defensive plan going in, a really specific defensive plan, because this is obviously a really good team. They've been playing really well on the offensive end, and I think we were proud of how we executed that today.
What was the plan against them defensively, with them being such a relying on the three ball so much?
I think that they have such like a almost a triple threat. So just knowing each player, knowing their assets and defending each player on an individual basis.
Kind of nice to be back home. I know you're kind of on an extended road trip. It was kind of a cameo appearance back there. You hit the road again, but it looked like you were nice to be back home again.
Yeah, it was really fun to get to play here again. Our fans are the best. We say that all the time, but it's so true. And I think we really appreciate it after going on these long stretches of away games.
4 games in 8 days, do you feel the fatigue setting in, or is that something that sort of helps you get into a rhythm playing that many games in such a short stretch?
I think our staff does a good job of prepping us and making sure we're ready to go. Obviously, there's fatigue when you play 4 games in 8 days, but I think it did help us get in the swing, and coming home was a big motivational piece.
Anything else? Are you sure? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Coach, I think we're ready.
Okay. Whenever you are.
Yeah. First of all, it's strange not seeing Mick Gary in the room. So you took his chair, exactly. And so just from the bottom of our hearts, from women's basketball, from our university, we thank him for his coverage. I think he just did a tremendous job for us, kind of covering the story within the story a lot of times. So wish him all the very, very best, and it's kind of strange not to see him here. But with that being said, I think our young ladies really came out of the gates today and played very, very good basketball all the way around. Western Illinois is such a dangerous team on both ends of the court because they score efficiently, they get to the rim, and they can shoot threes, and they're one of the top teams in the country in free throw shot and in three-pointers made during the season. On the other end of the court, they turn their opponents over, and they're one of the top 10 teams in the country in steals. So just a attentiveness to detail. I thought our ladies did a great job on such a short turnaround and took care of the ball after the first quarter and made some really good adjustments, but really did a great job defensively. Western Illinois is a team that is very, very sound, very well coached, and we played really well today.
Questions?
Yeah, you don't lose very many games when you shoot that well from 3, and obviously you got off to a great start from the 3, and that really opened things up inside for Hannah.
They really did. I thought our kids came out of the gates and really did some nice things, spaced the floor, and got some really good three-point shot opportunities, and we were fortunate that they went in. Chloe got us going a little bit. I think she had 3 in a row at one point in time and kind of made us feel really comfortable, and I thought that was really, valuable for us. I thought Hannah did a great job inside on both ends. That she did a great job on the offensive end, certainly, and defensively did a great job of helping in scenarios and battling and playing out on the perimeter and rebounding. Did a nice job for us. Thought Allison Arms and Kira Duffy both were really, really good with the basketball. Got a lot of assists for us. Madison McKeever hit some tough pull-ups. And Taylor Frederick, I think she was limited a little bit with some foul trouble, but I thought she did a nice job of really defending on the perimeter, and that's not really easy for post kids to do against a team like Western Illinois.
How important was it to get the 3-point ball falling there at the start of the game?
Well, Western Illinois does such a good job of playing angles and making passes tough that against a lot of zones you're able to just kind of move the ball and swing the ball and make things happen, and they make that difficult for you. And even though we prep and we try to simulate that, it's a very difficult zone to simulate. And I thought what we were able to do is early on in the game, we weren't really able to move the ball very well. We got some shots, but we weren't really getting the ball moving. And I thought as we started to move it a little bit better, we got some better looks, and we were able to kind of create opportunities where they had to collapse inside so we could kick it out.
Looked like they had a lot of energy despite the busy schedule you guys
They have. I thought our young ladies really responded. You know, I know that they care an awful lot. They want to do really well. And sometimes I think you have to find a way to create that energy, even if you don't really know if you have a lot left in your tank. And so it'll be important now for us to kind of recover, take a couple days off, and get some of that juice, I guess, back a little bit. But really responded well with such a short turnaround.
What sort of adjustments do you have to make to your practice schedule and the way you handle things with so many games in such a short stretch?
Well, I think our coaches did a really good job during this stretch of trying to make things as simple as possible for our young ladies. And certainly, Western Illinois is a really difficult scout at any time, even when you have a few days to prep for them. But certainly in a one-day prep, when you really have to look at, they're a completely different type of team offensively than teams that you face, and they run a different zone. And so I thought our coaches did a really nice job of trying to make it as simple as possible for our young ladies and try to get them as ready as they could be in that tight of a turnaround. So it is different. I think it's each time it's a little bit different in this type of situation. But again, the nice thing is that we have some veteran kids who've been through some of the difficult times in terms of physically getting through that stretch, but also understanding how important, you know, knowing your opponent really is, whether it's 2 or 3 days to prep, or in this case, 1 day.
You know, I know the top 25 rankings isn't something that your end goal for the season, but, you know, if that were to come here in the near future, you know, what would that say for your program?
Well, you're right. It's not something that we talk about. It's not something that we're caught up in. It's something that if that's to happen, fine. But we're focusing on the process of what we're doing. I think it's at this stage of the game, you know, what we really focused on going into this 2-game stretch. So after Oral Roberts and after Omaha was really getting back to who we wanted to be defensively, and I thought in these last 2 games we've established ourselves. So that's the process for us of really focusing on how we really need to get better, and I thought our young ladies really responded, and in the last 2 games really defended extremely well.
So, I mean, 6 wins in a row is a pretty good win streak. Like, what has really been clicking for your team over that stretch?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us during that stretch has kind of been a find-a-way mentality, and it's been different in a number of the games. In the last 2 games, we've really done a nice job on the defensive end, and when you do that, sometimes offense seems to come along with it. In other games, we've been really good on the offensive end, but we weren't quite there defensively. So I think it's more of just finding a way, whatever that is, to be successful, and now hopefully we can put those things all together.
3 of those were on the road, right? And then you come home today and you go back on the road. So
Yeah, we knew going into that this was our toughest stretch, really, even in a non-conference standpoint, just the travel and the days away from classes and the days on the road, that this was going to be a really important part of our season, and also a very difficult stretch. And I think our training staff does a great job, strength and conditioning, and our athletic training staff, to keep our players physically as ready as possible. So again, I think that can be a challenge when you're traveling as much as we have, but they've done a great job getting our kids prepared.
Have you given any thought to moving Hannah into the starting lineup, or what do you like about her in that sort of 6-man role?
I think she gives us an awful lot coming off the bench. Jasmine Trimboli really did a great job of that last year for us, and Hannah's doing a great job of that for us this year, and it's something that is very, very valuable.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.